the 5 hidden truths about women every man should know. Have you ever felt confused by the subtle emotions, hidden intentions, or unpredictable actions of women? What if I told you there are 5 specific insights most men overlook, but once understood, can transform the way you navigate relationships? Stick around because once you recognize these patterns, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Men often dive into relationships without truly understanding the silent forces at play. Women, like men, have strengths and vulnerabilities, both of which shape their behavior. As a man guided by Stoic principles, your ability to recognize and address these truths will not only improve your relationships but also help you remain composed and wise, no matter the circumstances. By the end of this article, you'll have the insight to approach women with understanding, patience, and strength. 1. Fear of rejection. Rejection cuts deep for everyone, but for many women, it's an especially sensitive and complex emotion. Unlike men, who might process rejection with external reactions, anger, frustration, or even indifference, women often internalize it. This can lead to self-doubt and a spiral of overthinking. Why does this happen? Many women grow up in environments where societal validation shapes their self-worth. Compliments on appearance, praise for being agreeable, or validation from peers all create a constant need to be accepted. Over time, this validation-seeking behavior becomes ingrained. So, when rejection occurs, be it in love, work, or friendships, it doesn't just sting in the moment. It brings up years of doubt, insecurity, and even unresolved pain. This fear of rejection is why some women hesitate to express their feelings openly or take risks in relationships. They fear the heartbreak and emotional weight of hearing no. As a Stoic man, it's crucial to approach this with awareness and compassion. Your role isn't to exploit this vulnerability but to recognize it as a shared human experience. How can you do this? Practice patience. If she seems hesitant or guarded, understand that her hesitation may come from a fear of being hurt. Instead of pressuring her to open up immediately, show consistency in your actions and words. Offer gentle reassurance. If she asks, "Do you think I did something wrong?" Respond with honesty and positivity. Say, "You're overthinking." It's not about being perfect. Lead by example. When you demonstrate that rejection doesn't define you, that it's just feedback or part of life, you inspire her to adopt the same mindset. By recognizing her fear of rejection and responding with calmness and empathy, you deepen your bond and help her see herself in a new light, one filled with strength and potential. 2. Overthinking and self-doubt. Have you ever said something casual and watched it spark hours of introspection? For many women, overthinking is a deeply ingrained habit, often tied to a desire for clarity and emotional security. Women tend to analyze relationships and interactions on a much deeper level than men. A simple comment like, "I'll call you later," can trigger a cascade of thoughts. Did I sound too eager? Was he annoyed? Does he even like me? This overthinking often stems from self-doubt. In a world that constantly scrutinizes women, how they look, what they say, and even how they feel, it's no surprise they might overanalyze. A casual disagreement or vague response can feel like rejection, prompting them to dissect every word, tone, and gesture for hidden meanings. How can you, as a Stoic man, help her navigate this? Recognize the signs. When someone is overthinking, they often seek reassurance. Rather than dismissing their concerns, acknowledge their feelings. A simple, "I see you're worried about this, what's on your mind?" can make her feel heard. Avoid fueling her worries. If she's caught in a spiral of what-ifs, bring her focus back to reality. If she's worried about a vague text from a friend, say, "You're reading too much into it. If something's wrong, they'll tell you." Encourage her to focus on what she can control. Share Stoic insights like, "We can't change what others think, but we can control how we respond." By staying grounded and offering clarity, you create an environment where she feels safe, valued, and at peace. 3. Emotional dependency. Women tend to form deep emotional bonds, and when they feel connected to someone they trust, this connection can grow into emotional dependency. This isn't a flaw, it's a sign of trust. When a woman depends on you emotionally, it means she feels safe enough to reveal her most vulnerable self. However, many men misinterpret this. Instead of nurturing the connection, they withdraw, fearing they'll lose their independence. But Stoicism teaches balance. Emotional support doesn't mean sacrificing your independence. It's about understanding boundaries and setting the right expectations. How to handle emotional dependency the Stoic way. Stay present, but not overwhelmed. Listen actively when she shares her emotions, but avoid taking them on as your own. Encourage independence. Instead of solving her problems, guide her toward her own solutions. Say, I trust your instincts on this. Guard your emotional energy. Ensure you have time for yourself. Hobbies, friendships, and mindfulness practices will help you recharge. Set clear boundaries. If you need space after a long day, communicate it. I want to be here for you, but I need some time to clear my mind first. By managing emotional dependency wisely, you foster a relationship built on mutual respect, not over-reliance. 4. Sensitivity to criticism. Criticism is something we all face, but for many women, it can be an especially sensitive subject. Whether it's constructive feedback or a casual remark, criticism can feel like a personal attack, even if that wasn't the intent. But women often tie criticism to their sense of worth. When they receive feedback, especially from someone they care about, it can trigger insecurity or self-doubt. How to handle criticism constructively? Use a gentle approach. Instead of saying, "Why did you do this wrong?" Try, "I understand how this happened. Let's figure out a way to improve together." Acknowledge her emotions. If she reacts defensively, don't shut her down. Say, "I know this feedback is hard to hear, but my intention is to help, not hurt." Encourage growth. Remind her that feedback isn't about failure, it's about getting better. We all make mistakes, but that's how we grow. 5. Desire for emotional expression. Women value emotional expression. They don't just want to solve a problem, they want to talk through it, feel understood, and process emotions openly. How to navigate this? Listen without fixing. Sometimes she doesn't need solutions, just a space to vent. Women often process emotions by talking them out, not necessarily looking for immediate fixes. When she shares a concern, it's not always a request for advice. It's a way to release tension and gain clarity. By simply listening, acknowledging her feelings, and responding with empathy rather than solutions, you create a safe space for open communication. This strengthens trust and allows her to feel genuinely understood and supported. Validate her feelings. "I understand why that upset you," goes a long way. Women often seek validation not just for the sake of agreement but to feel heard and understood. A simple acknowledgement of their emotions can make them feel supported and valued. Instead of dismissing their concerns, take a moment to empathize. For example, if she shares that something hurt her, rather than saying, "You're overreacting," try saying, "I can see why that would be upsetting." This subtle shift in approach strengthens emotional trust and makes communication more open and honest. Stay present. When she speaks, put away your phone, pause other distractions, and truly listen. Women often communicate not just with words but with tone, expressions, and body language. Being present means acknowledging her feelings, responding with engagement, and making her feel heard. Instead of offering quick solutions or brushing off concerns, show you understand by nodding, making eye contact, and using affirming statements like, "I see why that matters to you." This small shift in attentiveness can deepen your bond and create an environment of trust and connection. Final thoughts. Understanding these 5 insights isn't about changing women, it's about navigating relationships with wisdom. By embracing these truths, you can cultivate deeper connections, communicate more effectively, and build relationships based on trust and mutual respect. The key is not to control or change, but to understand and grow together. If you found this valuable, like, share, and subscribe for more content on relationships, personal growth, and wisdom. Your support helps us bring more life-changing insights to you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's continue this journey of growth and understanding together.